And that step is called self-realization in yoga terms. In yoga, it is called self-realization. Yeah. So with that, so Sahaja Yoga. Saha means with, Ja means born. So this yoga means yoga is union of us with the all pervading power, all pervading power that you have. So, you have something in you that is born with you, with which you can actually have yoga. Yoga is union with this all pervading power. So that is called Sahaj Yoga. And this Sahaj Yoga was started in 1970 by Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi. And now this has been practiced in around 120 countries. I myself learned Sahaj Yoga in the US. While I know my wife was practicing Sahaj Yoga before our marriage, but it took me some time to understand, wow, this is such a big thing. And it took me some time, it took me almost 5 years to understand this. But then once I started doing Sahaj Yoga, I committed my whole self into it. Okay. So what is this Sahaj Yoga? So we have our physical self, right? That we see, the physical body and all. But this is not the complete self. There is something that's inside this that in yoga we call as a subtle system. And that is the best way of understanding about ourselves. So many scriptures, many ancient texts have told, know thyself, know yourself, apne aap ko jano, khud ko jano. What is it that we have to know about ourselves? My name is Ram. I am working in Wipro. My job is cyber security. I am 45 years old. I am married. What else do I need to know about myself? There's more to it. What ourself is, we will know through our subtle system. So subtle system has a mechanism in us with three energy channels. You have three energy channels. You have a left energy channel that is blue in color that you see on the screen. Okay, that is the left energy channel. And then the right side is the yellow line, that is the right channel, right energy channel. Okay, that is there. And then there's a center channel called the Sushumna Nadi, the channel of the present. And then you have 7 energy centers on them. In Sanskrit, they're called as chakras. Chakras. Now, I go and see Bahubali and I become Bahubali. Down, right? So that Bahubali is not me. I am just acting like Bahubali. And my boss gets angry on me. I come home and I get angry on my family. What happened? I became my boss, right? So I'm basically mimicking, carrying what I'm doing. Everything is something that is imposed on me. That is not my true self. But there are some things in us that are original. That originality, that qualities are something that are there on our 7 energy centers and these 3 channels. And each of these 7 energy centers that you see as a small dot here at the bottom, that's called the Mooladhara chakra. Then the another channel called Swadhisthana chakra. Then the Nabhi chakra, the center. Then the red one at the heart level is the Anahat chakra. Then the Vishuddhi chakra, the throat level. Then the Agnya chakra here, where we put Bindi, and the top Sahasrara chakra, where all the chakras meet. Now, most important thing about before all these forms is the spirit. There you see a flame, a green glowing flame here on the blue line. That is a spirit. That is what we are. Now, each of these chakras have inherent qualities in them which we were born with. Like example, the Mooladhara chakra has innocence. The child is so innocent that between any fight, if you put a small child in between, because of the power of that innocence in the child, the people who are fighting will stop fighting. So as a child, all the chakra qualities are there. They were there when this on the top of the head. You see, that is called the Madu. It's called the limbic area. There was, when we were born, I will show that one in the screen. There was a hole there. From there is an energy that has entered us, and that was open. When that is open for kids, they are connected. The yoga is always there between them and the all-pervading power. That yoga was always there, but as they as it got closed, when the kids started saying mine, me, mine, by within 2-3 years it gets closed, and once it is closed, then the yoga is disconnected. There is no yoga, meaning you're not in balance with the all-pervading power. Okay, now self-realization is a step to get back that connection. Okay, now I'll explain a little bit about how to what happens is when this energy is awakened. Okay, so yoga, as you must have heard till now, is about asanas, but that's not how yoga is actually, and that's not how even our own Prime Minister, who started this yoga day internationally, has told. It is not just asanas. If you look at even the Patanjali Yoga Shastra, it is called Ashtanga Yoga. First, it starts with yama, then niyama, then pratyahara, then pranayam, asanas. Then the last three are dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So most important things are at the end, but we got stuck with asanas and pranayam. Asanas are physical exercises that are applicable for each of these chakras when a chakra has a problem. So what has happened with half knowledge in the last 100 years especially, we have learned, we have forgotten the actual yoga shastra that came and got stuck with specific asanas as a physical exercise. But yoga is just not physical exercise. It is a combination of body, mind, and spirit. And yoga helps the mankind's awareness to move from limited to unlimited. And it helps in the process of evolution. And now, with this practice of Sahaja Yoga, thousands of people all over the world have discovered this yoga helps in physical, mental, and emotional imbalances to disappear when they are practicing Sahaja Yoga. And how does it do that? It does it by helping us becoming aware of the 7 chakras and becoming aware of the 3 nadis that we have on our fingertips, literally on our fingertips. So that is what we will learn today, how these hands, these 2 hands of ours, will help us know the state of our chakras. You're all ready for that, right? Okay, so this, what you see on your screen is our spinal cord, and at the bottom of our spinal cord, where we have this tailbone, right, cokings that you say, that one, once you go down, there is a sacrum bone. It is called a sacrum bone, a bone that doesn't burn even when we burn a human body. The sacrum bone is very, very sacred. It's sacrum. Probably Greeks knew that it is a sacred bone. It is sacrum. In this sacrum bone, there is a 3 of coiled energy, a sleeping energy. It is in a 3 of coil shape. You see, kundal means that shape, 3 of coil shape. It is in that shape. It is residing and sleeping. Now you might ask, if it's already sleeping and dormant, why to wake it up, let it sleep now? So this energy was connected with the all-pervading power to have yoga. Now, in Sahaja Yoga, this energy is awakened again. Now, when does this energy come into it comes into a baby when the baby is in the womb. Around until 2 months, the fetus is just growing like fungus, right? It goes like mass. But at around between 2 to 3 months, there's a light that falls on the top of the head of the baby and actually goes inside like this in the form of a prism. So the brain is in the form of a prism. And when light falls, it refracts into 3 rays. And it forms those 3 channels that we just now talked about. In that, one channel is the left sympathetic nervous system. So this left channel is a very important channel, and this is the channel which we consume when we are thinking about our past. So you can think the left channel is the channel that is used, that gives the energy when we are thinking about our past. That's called Ida Nadi. Suppose we are thinking so much about our past, what happens? We exhaust the energy in this Ida Nadi. And once we exhaust the energy in the Ida Nadi, we get into depression. We have problems related to low blood pressure. We have problems related to muscular problems. We'll have pains in our body. So what will happen when the left sympathetic nervous system becomes weak? We have depression, we'll have pains, we are always thinking about past, we are emotional in nature, we will have loose motions, to start off with. Those are all various symptoms. When this left sympathetic nervous system gets weak, all those problems start. Right? Psychosomatic diseases also start from the left sympathetic nervous system. And psychosomatic diseases, even virus infections, everything is past. Virus is basically nothing but something that has gone out of existence but is coming into our consciousness because a human being is thinking about past. Once the left channel becomes weak. So this is something little bit psychological in nature. I'll cover that little bit. The Ida Nadi, also called as the subconscious. So it goes like this and crosses at the Agnya into this right side of the brain. So this right side of the brain actually has all our subconsciousness. So that's why it controls the whole past. So the more past we go into, we get into more depression, we have more problems, we are very lethargic in nature. So these are all problems coming because we are consuming energy of the Ida Nadi. And when do we consume energy of the Ida Nadi? When we are thinking about the past. Now, just like the left channel, we also have a right channel. The right channel is called the Surya Nadi, or it is called the Pingala Nadi, which is yellow in color, and the energy of that is consumed when we are thinking about the future. Okay. Now, the more we think, which is what we are, 99% of the population who are working are always thinking about future. So as we think more about future, we consume the energy on the Pingala Nadi. And if we consume the energy on the Pingala Nadi so much, we have problems related to high blood pressure, heart attacks, any problems related to asthma, and anything with which the liver gets heated up, which results in pancreas getting a problem, which is diabetes. All that stuff is related to right side, meaning we are so much in the future. Now, what is the solution? Solution is stay in the center. The center channel is called the Sushumna Nadi, or it is called Parasahanubhuti Nadi, in Sanskrit. And it is a channel that we were always in as we were kids, right? Because this is open. In the center channel, we are always in the present. When there are no accidents, when there are no problems, when you have immense amount of energy that runs, how kids, right? They make us sleep and then they go to sleep. They have so much energy for that we get tired. They are not tired because their central channel is open. The Sushumna Nadi is open for them. That's why they have so much energy, right? That is because of the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the parasympathetic nervous system is a system that started when you were born and it's going to end only when we die. That is parasympathetic, meaning suppose The left sympathetic nervous system, right system. Sympathetic nervous systems are those nervous systems which are used when we, like say, fight or flight mechanism. When you're excited or you're depressed. But and heartbeat increases, right? And who brings the heartbeat down or to normal is the parasympathetic nervous system. So digestive system is run by parasympathetic nervous system. Heartbeat run by parasympathetic nervous system. Digestion. Now after we eat food, how much to become carbohydrates, how much to become fat, how much into vitamins, all that is done by parasympathetic nervous system. Or in simple words to say, when you go to a doctor, no, if you ask him who runs our heart, they will say it's autonomous nervous system. Who is auto? That auto is parasympathetic nervous system. That is something called the divine channel. It's a channel that connects from Mooladhara, from the top of the head, to this all-pervading power. Yeah, which is called as divine, cosmic energy, whatever. But basically, it connects us. You heard so many times that we are all connected. We are all connected. Even Avatar movie says we are all connected. Even Matrix movie says, well, there is some Matrix here. There is some Maya here. You will understand. There is some truth to it and some understanding to it. Okay. Now, what is meditation and why should we be in meditation? Now, this channel that we talked about is parasympathetic nervous system. And we can get into this channel only through meditation, only through thoughtless awareness, meaning a state when we are thoughtless. Meditation means being thoughtless. Can we be thoughtless? All of us, let's close our eyes once. Let's close our eyes and observe. Let's observe for 10-20 seconds. Now open your eyes. Thoughtless state is a state of meditation. Now, if we're getting thoughts, which is normally, they say normal human being on a daily basis gets something like 60,000 thoughts. You cannot control. And all the problems are related to thoughts. 98% of the diseases that human being gets are related to thoughts, because thought is the source of all the problem. Really, there is no problem. But because of fear, I become weak. And fear brings our immune system down and we get disease. Why did it come? Thought. Now, what is thoughtless awareness? Thoughts rise. Before thought falls down, another thought rises. That is how our mind is jumping on the cusp of our thoughts. But thoughtless awareness is a state wherein a thought rises and it goes down, and there is a gap called Vilamba in Sanskrit. That area is called thoughtless awareness. And then another thought rises. There is 1 second gap or 2 seconds gap. In meditation, we touch this gap. We experience this gap. This experience of this gap, experience of this silence, this thoughtlessness is called meditation, where we are not in the past. We are not in our past thoughts. We are not in the future thoughts. We are in the present. In present, there are no thoughts. You are enjoying your life only in the present. Every time that you are told that I have enjoyed my life or I have enjoyed something, you were in the present. Like you enjoyed playing cricket, you were in the present. But very thoughtless, probably not. But you enjoyed. But real present state is a state of thoughtless awareness where you're just witnessing. Like you're looking out of the window and you see the trees. You see the leaf. You can feel the leaf. You can appreciate one leaf is not the same as another leaf. Your observation, your witnessing capacity increases multifold. And that is when you are actually creative. Everything that we have created is a reflection of what we have observed in the nature. So to be at our best, we have to be in the present. And meditation is the greatest practice to help you get into the present. And Sahaja Yoga goes one step beyond that. It actually creates a road for you in your spiritual awareness, which is what you are. Okay, so we talked about being in the past, we get into depression, being and we get pains, and we have problems, all body aches, and all of that is because being in the past. But when we are in the future, we are overactive, always running, running, and because of that, we actually get anger. We'll get a lot of anger because our expectations are high, right? Expectations are future. Our expectations are high, so we get angry, and our blood pressure increases. Now we have to stay in balance. The solution is stay in balance. Don't go so much into past, don't go into future. Stay in balance. How to stay in balance? We will learn that. And that is not through the asanas, but a much more deeper. Meaning asanas are important part, but like doing asanas are per each chakra. So you see on the right hand side those chakras, right? 7 chakras. Suppose you have a problem with the Muladhara chakra, which is the bottom chakra. We have butterfly asana. We put both our legs like this and do this one. That's required. When we have problem with the nabi, we have another asana. We have problem with the heart, we have to do pranayam. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold, observe, like, and then the prana and mana union will happen. Then pranayam happens, right? So basically, that is only some small part of the yoga, but the real yoga is inside. We have to go inside, and that is what we'll practice now. So discover the power within. That is what we are going to do. That is the first activity, first exercise of Sahaja Yoga. This is like taking a seed and putting it in Mother Earth. We had the seed, we had the books, so many books we read, but will that result in anything? No. If we take the seed to the library and it reads a lot of books, will it become a tree? It won't. But now the activity that we are doing is taking the seed and putting in Mother Earth so that it will become a tree. Now let me do a quick time check. Are you people all listening or not listening to me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. We are listening.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're all with me still, right?
Yes.
You didn't sleep yet.
No, sir.
Post lunch session is we have to be very careful. We have to keep asking, are you awake? Are you awake? Are you awake?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
You're awake. Okay, good. Okay. Now let's get started. I will tell the steps. This is a completely practical session. If it's possible, please sit on Mother Earth. Please sit on Mother Earth. And in this, you're able to see me also, right? Or is a window? You're able to see me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So in this, the steps are going to be like this. The left hand will remain nicely on your lap. We will not touch the left hand. Left hand will remain nicely on the lap. Right hand is what we will use. So there will be 9 steps. Just see it on screen as I tell you now. After that, we will close our eyes and do. Why do we close our eyes and do? When we keep our eyes open, we react. What is the time? Oh, it's 2:45 already. Like that, we react, right? Or we look at something, we react. But we close our eyes, 80% of our reactions reduce. So that's why we will do these steps by closing our eyes. But now you just see the steps that we will do. So left palm, left hand will remain on your lap. You'll have to put your left hand on the lap. Right hand, step 1. We will do all the 9 steps we will do with right hand. Right hand, step 1. Take your right hand, put it on the heart on the left hand side. Here, heart is on the left hand side. We have to put there. Step 1. Then step 2. The same right hand, we'll put it below the ribs on the left hand side. Below the ribs on the left hand side. Step 2. Step 3. We will take the same right hand and put it between where our hips area, where the legs meet the upper torso. Yeah, on the left hand side, meaning below the stomach area on the left hand side. That is the 3rd step. You don't have to remember all the steps. When you close your eyes, I will tell the same things. So you can do it by closing your eyes afterwards. Don't write it down, or you don't have to worry. How will I remember all these things? Don't worry about that. Okay. Next, step 4. You'll take your right hand and put it again in the left below the ribs on the left hand side. Step 5. Again, take your right hand and put it on the heart. Step 6, take your right hand, put it on the neck, between on the left hand side, neck and the shoulder, and turn your head to the right. Turn your head to the right. Next step, take your right hand and put it on your forehead. When we get headache, how do we put our right hand? On the forehead, we'll put it like that. Then we'll take our right hand. Next step is taking our right hand, put it on the back of the head and raise your head towards the ceiling. Okay, so that your right hand will rest nicely on the hand. Then the last step, we will put our right hand on top of the head and ensure that your fingers are up. Only the center of your palm is pressing nicely on the forehead. This is called the limbic area, or called the talu in Hindi. And this is a very soft bone, which is a soft bone when you are a small kid. And here we will rotate the skin. We'll rotate the skin in the clockwise direction. In the clockwise direction. How the fan rotates, no, clockwise, like that will rotate. And we'll rotate that 7 times. Okay. And after rotating 7 times, if the Kundalini rises, if the Kundalini rises, what will happen? There will be a cool breeze or a hot air. If the Kundalini rises, all the chakras it will cross, and it will come as hot air or cool air from the top of the head. And once it comes from the top of the head, the same chakras actually end in our hands. I told you, that now we learn how to use our hands to know about our chakras. That's what. All the 7 chakras end in our hands. And if that cool breeze or hot air, whatever, the Kundalini, once it rises and crosses all the chakras, it gives a scanning report of your chakras. The chakras will appear as pain, or it will appear as numbness, or irritation, or hot air or cool air coming from the fingers. All these fingers, from the tips of the fingers, it will come. When the Kundalini rises, it gives a scanning report. And then if the cool breeze is coming or hot air is coming, any of the sensation that happens in your palms or top of the head, it means the Kundalini has risen. And if the Kundalini has risen, the first step of self-realization has happened. Okay, now we will do these steps with eyes closed. So all of you heard me, right? You understood the steps, and I will tell you these steps so that you can follow with eyes closed. Okay? All of you ready? So please, all of you, sit down nicely, comfortably. If it's possible, sit down on the ground. Sit down nicely on the ground and put your left hand on your lap. Okay, left hand will nicely be on the lap, or if even better, you can put it at the level of the heart. You can put the left hand open at the level of the heart. So, eyes closed, and you'll follow the steps that I will tell you with eyes closed. Because if you open your eyes, Kundalini will fall down. No, your attention is a very important strength that you need to have to do this step. So first step, we will take our right hand and put it on our heart. And here, this energy, this Kundalini energy that is there residing in each of us is called Mother Kundalini. So here we will tell this energy, or we'll ask this energy, first step, Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the spirit? 3 times we'll ask, Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the spirit? Step 2, we'll take our right hand, put it on the left side below the ribs. Left side below the ribs. In the upper stomach area, we'll put our right hand there, left hand will remain open, and here we'll ask, Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own master? This is a very, very important step. Mother, am I my own master? Step 3, we'll take the same right hand below the stomach on the left hand side, meaning where the leg meets your upper torso. We'll put our right hand there, left hand remains open at the level of the heart, and here we will say, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. This is where the Kundalini rises from. When we ask, Mother, please give me pure knowledge, and pure knowledge is knowledge of the spirit. So we came into this life when we were invisible, very small, and from there we became this whole design of the heart came, these lungs came, these legs came, hands came, brain came, eyes came. Oh my goodness, what all came from nothing. So that all was there in the spirit, and from spirit this whole life evolved, which is so amazing. So let us ask for the pure knowledge. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. So we ask 6 times. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. 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 4th step, we will put our right hand back again below the ribs on the left hand side. And here, now that we got the pure knowledge, we will tell Mother, I am my own master. We will tell with full confidence, Mother, I am my own master. Now that we have got that Kundalini rising, we will tell with full confidence that I am my own guru. No one is my guru, I am my own guru. Mother, I am my own master. 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 Now we'll put our right hand on the heart on the left hand side. And here we will tell the truth. And the truth is, Mother, I am not this body, I am not these thoughts, I am not my ego, I am not my intellectuality, but I am a pure spirit. So here we'll tell 12 times, because the heart chakra has 12 petals. We'll say 12 times, Mother, I am a pure spirit. 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 You don't have to say it loud, say it in your heart. Mother, I am a pure spirit. Mother, I am a pure spirit. Mother, I am a pure spirit. Now the next step, we'll take our right hand, put it on the left, between the neck and the shoulder on the left hand side, and turn our head to the right. Between the neck and the shoulder on the left hand side, and turn our head to the right. And here we'll say, Mother, I am not guilty. These are wonderful affirmations, has a lot of logic behind it about the nervous system of our body. So say it from the heart. Mother, I am not guilty. This guilt stops the Kundalini from rising. So that's why you have to confidently say, Mother, since I'm a spirit, how can I be guilty? I'm not guilty. Mother, I am 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 not guilty. Now next step, take your right hand, put it on your forehead. Bend your head a little bit towards Mother Earth. And here say, Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. This is very, very important. This is the mantra to get away from all kind of headaches, all kind of migraine, any kind of stress. We just have to put our right hand on our forehead and just say, Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. By not forgiving, it's only a myth now. What do we do by not forgiving? Nothing. We just carry coal in our hand, which our head is getting burnt. So we just have to cool it down by saying, Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. माँ मैं सबको क्षमा कर रहा हूँ और अपने आप को भी क्षमा कर रहा हूँ. Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. The most important mantra of current times. Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. That's it. Next step. Take your right hand and put it on the back of the head. Raise your head towards the ceiling. And here say, Mother, please forgive me for any mistakes I've done knowingly or unknowingly. Mother, please forgive me for any mistakes I've done knowingly or unknowingly. Just 2 times, that's good enough. Now, last and important step, we'll put our right hand, press on the top of the head and lift the fingers little bit above so that the fingers should not, touch the head. With that, what will happen is the center of the palm will have pressure on top of the head. So that, with that pressure, we'll rotate the scalp 7 times in the clockwise direction. Like the fan, no? From top of the head, it will rotate clockwise direction 7 times. And every time we rotate, we'll ask, Mother, please give me my self-realization. 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 Keep your hand pressed there. Observe what's happening in your left palm. Observe what's happening in your right palm. Observe what's happening on top of the head. Now slowly bring both your palms at the level of your heart. Keep your eyes closed. Until Sahaj Yoga came, we used to meditate at the level of the Agnya. But after Sahaj Yoga, we meditate from top of the head. So from top of the head, which is a Sahasrara, where all the chakras meet, from there, we will observe what's happening in both our palms. So both our palms at the level of the heart, from top of the head, observing what's happening in both our palms. We'll stay in meditation for 20 seconds. Just observe what's happening in both your palms. Both your left palms at the level of the heart, from top of the head, observe what's happening in both your palms and be in this state of thoughtless awareness called meditation for 10 seconds more. Now, leave your left palm where it is. Take your right palm and put it on top of the head, 2 to 3 inches on top of the head. and move your right palm slowly up and down. Move it up and down on top of the head to observe if there is a flow of magnetic flux or hot air or cool air coming from inside the head and hitting your right palm. And it is very subtle, like as a new seed, how much energy will new seed get? Little bit energy, right? Just observe if there is a flow of cool air or hot air coming from inside the head and hitting your right palm. Now bring your right palm down at the level of the heart. Take your left palm, put it 1 to 2 inches on top of the head and move it up and down. Slowly up and down to observe if there is flow of cool air or hot air coming from inside the head and hitting your left palm. Now bring back your left palm down again at the level of the heart. Take your right palm 1 to 2 inches on top of the head and move it up and down. Some people feel it very close to the head. Some people feel it on top, little bit 6 to 7 inches on top of the head. Move it up and down. It's basically to find if there is a flow of electric or electromagnetic flux coming from inside the head and hitting your right palm. Bring it very close. Don't touch it. And then move it up. Bring it very close again and move it up. Just observe very close. Bring it very close and move it up. Okay. Now, after doing it again, bring both your palms at the level of the heart. Just open your eyes. Look at Shri Mataji, how she's putting it. Observe your both palms with eyes open. Earlier, since we don't know how to take our attention inside, we did it with eyes closed. Now you can see now you can observe with eyes open if you are able to feel. And if you are able to be thoughtless, observe if you are thoughtless. If you are thoughtless, if you felt any kind of sensations in your palms on top of your head, the Kundalini has risen, especially if the vibrations are cool or hot. Okay, now let us raise both our palms into the air. And here we'll ask 3 questions. We'll close our eyes, we'll ask, observing what's happening on top of our hand, we'll ask, Shri Mataji, what I'm feeling on these palms, are these divine vibrations? Mother, are these that I feel on my palms divine vibrations? If they are yes, you will feel the flow more clear. Or you'll ask, Shri Mataji, is this manifestation of divine love that I'm feeling on my hands? Oh Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost that was told in the Bible, or it is called a Ruh in the Quran? Or is it called the Chaitanya Lahari in the Hindu scripts? Now slowly bring both your palms down, again at the level of the heart, eyes closed. Observe these vibrations in the palms from top of the head. From top of the head, observe both your palms, the fingertips, the center of the palm for 20 seconds. And if you're getting any thoughts, observe the thoughts. Observe if the thoughts are coming from the past or they are coming from the future. Just observe them, don't get involved. And if you observe them, you'll notice they can't control you. You're above your thoughts. Once you're above your thoughts, you're beyond the mind, you are in thoughtless awareness and you are in meditation. But the first gate for meditation is thoughtless awareness, for which you have to Open both your palms towards Shri Mataji and observe. Are you in the past? Are you in the future? The thoughts are coming from the past or from the future. Just observe them. That's all. It will become silent. Now put both your palms nicely on your lap. Both your palms nicely on your lap. From top of the head, observing the fingertips and the center of the palm, having the back straight, nicely relaxed. We'll sit in meditation for 1 minute. Now slowly open your eyes, join both your hands. Just say thank you to the Guru who started this Yoga meditation, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. And just say thank you, Shri Mataji, for giving this simple technique of sitting in our nice AC rooms and getting the experience of meditation that people get after years of tapasya and in the Himalayas. Thank you, Shri Mataji. Okay, it was very simple technique. Okay, now this is a very good thing. Sahaja Yoga meditation, right? Before meditation, you will have like Ravana 10 heads with all the 6 enemies: Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Matsar, Mada, which is like it's called lust, greed, anger, uh, vanity, jealousy, and pride, ego. Yeah, all these are big enemies that are the only reason we have problems. And as we meditate, the most important thing is we become aware, and we become aware of these chakras. Like, for example, first energy center is called Muladhara, and it has problems on the prostate gland, urethra, bladder, and it emits qualities like innocence, purity, chastity, wisdom, discrimination, and humbleness. And it brings us out of the problems that we have: constipation, loose motions, muscular dystrophy, lack of memory, excretory organ problems, prostate gland problems. All are because of Muladhara chakra problems. Once we, meditate, and if the coolness is coming in this area, in the hands, that means our Muladhara chakra is clear. And as it is getting cleared, heat is coming, that means it is getting cleared. And if cool is coming, that means it is cleared. If it is cleared, then the chakra is cleansed. This is a very simple way of actually clearing ourselves from all the so many problems, mental, physical, emotional problems that we hear about. Okay, now this was the last slide that I wanted to cover, but if you have any specific questions, I can go to that specific section and solve it. But I think I touched upon the most important points that I wanted to cover with you. And if you have any questions, you can ask me now, and you can share your experience with me now. Please unmute yourself.